Oh, shit. So, we're talking about the special season, the holiday time. I wanted to talk about my favourite holiday films. Oh, favourite holiday films. They're not all horror, some of them are horror. This is a varying range of holiday films. I'm not saying that in the politically correct term, I'm saying that because this is taking advantage of majority of holidays that I enjoy watching films depicted on. Yeah, it's not gonna be just Christmas, you fucks. Mostly because I despise Christmas for a lot of reasons. Holy, I don't like Halloween. That's my shit. I don't give a crap about Christmas. But anyway, I still have some favorite Christmas films, so I kind of wanted to talk about it. Yeah, I'll start with the honorable mentions. The honorable mention number one is Love Actually, because it's, I don't know, we usually watch it every year. That's the kind of traditional film that we have like on every year. Every Christmas, the same bullshit. You get this film, you get that film. Some of them are in this list, so I'm not going to mention them. I like it. It's a fun movie. It's just one of those best versions of the bunch of actors all having roles in a movie, but then they're all kind of related to some degree, and I kind of dig that. Like, it just works. I don't give a shit for the messaging. I'm like, oh, love is the greatest thing of all. It's like, yeah, okay, I get it, you're British, you know? But still, you know, I enjoy it. It's a good, was it Richard Curtis film? Still. My next honorable mention is Monster House, because I love Halloween, and this movie was a banger as a kid. I adored this movie. I haven't seen it for a couple of years now, but I did rewatch it a couple of years ago, and it's just like, the animation is wacky as hell. It just goes to show you can just do whatever, and it can just really fly. And this is in the age of like peak Pixar with like, you know, the Toy Story films, Up and stuff like that, like stuff that I grew up with as a kid. And I'm like, yeah, but Monster House kind of shines because it's just really fun. It's a classic Halloween fable. It's all about all the stuff that Halloween's about. But it's just, I don't know, it's just fun. It's kind of a film about, do I need to dive into what these films are about, like, morally? Like, it's about acceptance and how you shouldn't push fat people into holes or something. I don't know. Probably not. I wouldn't advise it. But, yeah, no, it's a great film. It's got some great horror elements, some great comedy, some great dynamics between the kids, some classic moments, like that guy who just keeps playing arcade games and steals food. It's good stuff. And I like the characters. Even the villains. They're great. It's a sympathetic story in the end. There's a ghost. It's fun. My next honorable mention is The Guest, because Halloween, baby. It's more of a background thing that it's a Halloween film, but I still really dig it. I also just love the film in general. It's got a great vibe, got a great style. Dan Stevens is fantastic. What's her name? Something Monroe. The lead actress is fantastic in it. Like, it's just a fun movie, you know? It's just good. It's just solid stuff. But we're not here talking about those. We're talking about the top 10. Okay, alright, I guess I'm doing this in an order. I was not going to do a top... I was going to do a randomized top 10, but then I realized actually I probably should rank these. These are just ones that kind of came off the top of my head, of like ones that are set on holiday themes. Sometimes the holiday theme's a background element to it, but sometimes it's a part of the plot. So let's dive into it. Number 10 is April Fool's Day. Do you celebrate this holiday? I don't, but I think it's really funny, and I think it's a great slasher film. It's one of those great ones that has a wonderful twist to it, which you don't really see coming, but you kind of do in a way. I've seen it twice now, and I'm like, it's just fun. I won't spoil it. It's just a classic slasher. I highly recommend it. It makes me wish I kind of had Black Christmas on this list, but I'm not in love with Black Christmas as a film yet, so there's a lot of films that are going to be like that I'm like, I will acknowledge them, but I'm not in love with them. So as much as they're a good set on this holiday kind of film, I don't love the film more than the holiday version, you know? Like, oh, it's just like, say Silent Night, Deadly Night. Like, that's a fun Christmas movie. But, yeah, I'm not as in love with it as a Christmas movie or a slasher film. I'm kind of both ways. Whereas Black Christmas, I'm like, it's a good Christmas movie. I don't love it as much as a slasher film, but that's just because I haven't had a great experience watching it yet. But it's coming in for Christmas on 4K, so I'm excited for that. Hooray! Number 9 is Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is one of those strange but interesting slasher films from the early 80s where you don't really think of it as something that could be undoubtedly iconic. You think of maybe, oh, the second one's probably more iconic because it's the worst of the few, cheaper made, the garbage they quote. Yeah, sure, whatever. But the first one so emphasizes its usage of the Christmas themes and trauma, which I know no one likes the trauma movies anymore, especially when it comes to horror. But this one is so interestingly implemented that you feel the guy's pain, and not in a sappy, oh, they've been through a traumatic thing and maybe it's slightly vague but you can kind of relate to it. This is head on. You see the shit happen. It's insanely detailed. It's grotesque, and this is the uncut version as well, so even more grotesque, which is great. And it just piles on. You get the prologue with the kid as a child watching his parents get murdered. Then you see him in the orphanage getting abused. Then suddenly he's 18 years old. He's working at this toy store. Everything's fine and dandy and happy-go-lucky. He's got a cute girl that he kind of likes. But, his boss is his supervisor is kind of like, yeah, you can't go after her. She's mine. But then the Christmas season rolls around and the trauma comes back, the flashbacks, it all happens. And it's really effective as both a dramatic film, but also then it becomes a hardcore slasher film where he loses it. He's forced to dress up like Santa Claus, like the day before Christmas, and it's just... he loses his mind and he just goes on a rampage, and it's really fun. It has all the tropes of the classic slasher films. Sure, there's a bunch of titties in it as well, but the kills are really gnarly. It's fun, it's brutal, and it's, again, traumatic. It's a really effective film. It's a great Christmas film for that matter as well. It's not like it's a background effect. It is the genuine article of he's dressed up like Santa. It's not the first film to do it, of course, but it was the controversial film to do it because it was a film that came out a few years earlier that no one really heard about, and so it was like a evil Santa or some bullshit movie. But that emphasis was that it was a person dressed up as Santa killing people. But this time it was big news. Oh, you gotta remove it from the cinemas. The kids can't see this. This is a Christian country. Anyway, a hell of a film. Really fun. I would definitely recommend getting it and the sequel, even though the sequel is basically a 30-minute recap of the first film and then over-the-top goofy stuff for the rest of it. They're still really fun. I wouldn't say the second one's a good film. That one's the so bad it's good kind of deal. But it makes for a fun double feature, especially for the holiday season. And genuinely, I think it's one of the holiday films horror films for slasher films that I would genuinely watch every year, because I've watched it 2 years in a row now, and I'm like, honestly, I don't think this train's going to stop. I'm really, really digging it. So, yeah, and it's just got a good transfer. It looks nice. It sounds nice. It's just a lot of fun. And yeah, it takes a bit to, if you don't like all the stuff at the start, then sure, you might not like it. But I think it builds the character and the motivation. So, yeah, I think that's really good. Anyway, number 8 is one that hasn't been traditional in my life, but I did watch it last year for Christmas, and that is the Muppet Christmas Carol. I gotta be honest, it's just a good goddamn movie. I love the Muppet stuff. I grew up with the TV show. I've hardly ever watched any of the movies, which is kind of outstanding to me, because I watched so much of the show. I don't even remember which show it was. It was one that was they were at a theater. And yeah, I don't know. It's like a variety hour kind of thing. I don't really remember what it was called, but I remember it and I loved it. And this was just really nice. It was it knows how to play it. The fact that they're also Muppets and humans mixing together. It's one of the joys of the Muppet things where they're not oh, hey, he's a Muppet. It's nah, they're just characters, dude. Him being a Muppet, him being a frog who's married to a pig that has frog and pig children, but it's also the great, Charles Dickens fable, and it's well delivered for kids and families. It's just enjoyable. It's a beautiful film. It's heartwarming. It doesn't make me cry. Shut the fuck up. Well, it doesn't actually make me cry, but I do, I have that emotional spark kick in when I'm watching that movie, because it's just also cute as hell. Fucking Muppets, are you kidding me? It's good stuff. Number 7, we've got Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, because of course I'm going to have a Shane Black film in here, because all of his films are Christmas films, and I mean, I don't really need to say much about this film. It's a good private detective film. It's got great comedic banter between the leads. Val Kilmer is great. Robert Downey Jr. is great. Winner goes to Michelle Monaghan for just the dress that she wears in this movie. Like, I don't think I've ever seen someone look more gorgeous in a movie. I mean, look, you got this. You got the nurse in American Wolf in London. But yeah, so it's also just really fun. It's a great film. I would recommend it. I would have had Nice Guys. That would have been an honorable mention if it had more of a Christmas setting. Because it only has a Christmas scene at the very end, I can't count it in this list, or at least I can't rank it in this list. I apologize. I also just don't love the Nice Guys as much as I love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I don't know. I've always had that reaction with Nice Guys where it's like, I love it, but I don't know. I think it was in the era of trailers ruining all the jokes, so the movie wasn't as much of a surprise for me. But I still really like watching it. You know, I dig it. I like the cast. I like the daughter. I'm so bad at actors' names right now, but the girl who plays his daughter, she's great. It's weird that she's in the new Mean Girls film as a kid when she's like 30 something. I don't know what that's all about, but she's great. She's an Australian actress. I love her. She's amazing. On to another Christmas film. We have Home Alone. I just kind of figured I'd put this one in here because it's like, I don't know, it's still a banger. Like, I can't really fault the movie at all. Like, this was the one that I grew up with. This was my Christmas movie as a kid, you know? And it's just a lot of fun. I love the cast. I love the kid. The bad guys are great. Shut up. I'm not here to remember character names, alright? I don't care. It's just fun. It's just good. I need to get it on, like, physical. It's always on TV. It's like Love Actually. I only bought that on Blu-ray because it was like $2 in an op shop. You know, it's like, I had the DVD, but it's like, it's always on telly, you know? You don't need to buy the physical release, you know? That's a different argument to saying, it's always on streaming, you don't have to watch it. I know it's on fucking Disney Plus now, but, at least for Home Alone, but it's like, with something like Love Actually, it's genuinely just on free-to-air every goddamn year. So, yeah. I don't know, but Home Alone's great, you know? When else do you get a movie that has a fake movie about shooting a bunch of people? It's great. It's well utilized. It's really well directed. It's good stuff. Number 5 is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Haha, gotcha. You thought it was going to be the John Carpenter one. God, imagine if it was actually the David Gordon Graham one. See, that would have been the real whew. I know you probably would have been thinking, oh, at least you're not saying the Rob Zombie one. Fuck you, I like the Rob Zombie one. But no, it's number 3, because it's still set on Halloween, and I fucking love this movie. I think it's my favourite Halloween film in the series of Halloween films. I love it. It's so much. I love the sound design, I love the music, I love the actors in it. Tom Atkins, hoya, he's a hell of a guy. Have you seen him in Night of the Creeps? Hoy, he's good. It's just a banger film, and it has the best ending of all of these films. It's probably my favorite ending, I think, of a movie. It's so fucking good. So, it's just a good Halloween film. You know, I know that it's not a good Halloween because of Michael Myers not being in that film, but he fucking is. He's on the telly. He's there in the movie. It should have just been a random anthology film called Season of the Witch, but I guess technically Romero already did that with his Season of the Witch film, which is technically called like Household Wives or some shit. I don't bloody know. But yeah, so I have to put in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I love it. It's great. I don't care. As much as I don't know. I don't have much else to say about it. I know it's the ugly duckling of the series, but honestly, look, when you get something like Halloween Ends, and then you've also got the Rob Zombie films, it's like, look, it's a crazy goddamn series, but I still like them. And it's the weakest of the slasher film series for me personally. I much prefer the Jason films, but I love Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. You know, you don't have to watch it and be like, oh great, now I've got to watch every single sequel of Michael Myers in it. No, you can just watch it and then go home. Or if you're home, watch a different movie afterwards. I don't fucking care. You don't have to watch another Halloween film. It's wonderful. Number 4 is Die Hard, because obviously the Christmas movie, it's gonna be, I know there's a lot of bullshit debates. Is Die Hard the Christmas film? If I was ever a journalist and my boss was like, you gotta ask the question, and I'd be like, yeah, how about fuck you? You know, like, how about we don't give a shit anymore, you know? Like, I put goddamn Kiss Kiss Bang Bang as my Christmas movie, and I kind of prefer watching that to Die Hard a lot of the time, but at the same time, Die Hard is fun, it's iconic, it's a great film by itself without the Christmas element, but it's just a great, brings everyone together in the mood for murder. It's a great one. We always watch it every Christmas. I need to watch the second one more often, but the second one's fine. I like the second one. I like all of the Die Hard films. I don't know about that fan film that they called. What's the fifth one? There's some weird fan movie. I don't know. I never watched it. Doesn't bother me. But I like the tetralogy. It's a good tetralogy. I like it. I enjoy it. But yeah, Die Hard's good. Like, it's one of those films where I'm like, it's just not a bad movie. It's a bit long, but I still really like it. I think a lot of people do. A weird kind of general consensus thing I'm kind of sensing. Is it in the room with us now? I think it is. On the other hand, Batman Returns, yeah, baby, because the ultimate, almost the ultimate Christmas film. I almost slipped up there. I love Batman Returns. I'm going to watch it soon in 35mm. Fucking Kane. I don't know. It's just a good Batman flick. It's a good Christmas movie. It's got iconic characters, not just because they're from the comics, but just the way that they're portrayed. DeVito, Pfeiffer, even Walken. They're all fantastic. There's also Michael Keaton. I don't know if you know he was in this movie. I know he's like Batman, so it's like really hard to tell. But they're good. It's always fun. It's just mayhem and murder and Christmas and fake snow. I love it. I should put like The Shining, but that's not really a Christmas movie. But yeah, so it's just, I don't know, it's, again, we're getting into very obvious territory, aren't we? So let's do one that's not so obvious. This is a very good holiday movie. It covers kind of all of your bases, really. It's When Harry Met Sally. I kind of think of it more as a New Year's film, mostly because the kind of film is pinned like every New Year's. Like, I'm not watching every New Year's, it's just in the film. They have New Year's a couple of times in there, because it's a romantic comedy. Like, it's gonna have New Year's at least once, but there's Christmas as well. There are other holiday seasons that they celebrate in the movie, like autumn or fall, as you might call it in America. That's a really good holiday season, that everything's dying, and it looks really nice. Yeah, I don't know what that's like anymore. I don't know what's happening in Australia. It's fucking weird. But, yeah, it's just a beautiful film with beautiful people and funny people, and it's just a tragedy and a romance and a comedy, and it's just everything you want in a movie. And it's insanely gorgeous. I fucking adore it. This is a movie that I go back to probably every year. Not even the holiday season. I can watch it whenever. That's what's also so fun about it. But it's one I need to introduce to my partner, because she hasn't seen it yet, and it's like what, the greatest romantic film ever made. So, yeah. Is it a romantic comedy? I feel like it is, but it's not like they're doing like banging out one-liners. It's more of like the comedy is like the dynamic between the characters. And I know Billy Crystal's a naturally funny guy, but it's also like there's just nice, heartwarming kind of comedy to it because of how they are. But then there's the sadness and the tragedy. But then Carrie Fisher shows up, and you're like, hey, Carrie Fisher, hey, you can't lose. So, yeah. And obviously, we're all here for number one. What is my favorite Christmas holiday, Thanksgiving movie of all time? It's Gremlins. That's just the obvious choice, because it's my exact cup of tea, because I really relate to that one girl who hates Christmas. Not for the same reasons. My dad's fine. He didn't dress up as Santa and come down a chimney and fucking break his neck. He's fine. But her dad, holy. But you also get monsters, and I love monsters. I love little thingies that become slightly bigger thingies, and then mutate, and then become evil. And then watch Snow White. Because they might be evil, they might be gremlins, but they have taste, as they say. Bloody good film. An absolute joy to watch. It sucks that the second one isn't a Christmas film, because the second one is so much better than the first one. The first one barrels on that like dark comedy line, which is always a really rough line to go down, especially in movies. But then it still works. But then the second one is just like, nah, we're just comedy. It's like the original meta referential comedy, and it's so much better than what you get now. And it's also better. You get a great variation of Gremlins. Yeah, fuck the original Gremlins. I love Gremlins 2, the new batch more. It's the better film. You should understand that it literally has a gremlin that turns into a spider. Gizmo has so much PTSD, he becomes Rambo. It's fantastic. Does the first one have any of that? No, it's a much simpler film. It's a much more Spielbergian happy film. I know it's a Joe Dante, but it's like, it's still produced by Spielberg, and it's like, it's still just, it's fun. There's a lot of murder in that movie. There's a guy who dies, and he comes back in the next movie, and he's like, "Oh, I'm fine. It was just a scratch." I'm like, "Bitch, you got murdered by a bulldozer. What are you talking about?" So, or a tractor or whatever it was. Uh, it's good stuff. I mean, what other Christmas movie are you gonna get that's gonna have like a little green guy getting shoved into a blender and then getting bloody chopped in the mulch, get into a fucking microwave and exploding? It's just good stuff, you know? So yeah, that's my favourite of the holiday movies. There's obviously a lot of great ones out there. I'm more of the, if we're going to go specifically Christmas, I don't mind the heartwarming Christmas, everyone gets together in the end bullshit. Like, sure, whatever, do your patented thing as long as it ain't Hallmark, whatever. But I don't know, I like to kind of be a bit more various about things, you know. Hell, I had April Fool's Day on this list, you know. Who the hell else is going to put April Fool's Day on their holiday list? You just gotta know when to appreciate other things. Yeah, a lot of this is like very basic, isn't it? I don't know, I like monster movies. But you know, I still respect and love the originals. Like, I still like Die Hard and Love Actually, and even with the cheesiness of, not exactly Die Hard, but like with something like Love Actually and whatever, it's like, I still really like the movie. Like, it doesn't put it down to me because it's like love, it's all around. I'm like, I get it, all right. I've seen this film 20 billion times. Like, I'm not personally that kind of person who's like, I don't care about the blatant whimsy of let's have all the orchestra make you want to cry. I'm like, fuck off. It ain't my shtick anymore. But I appreciate it because, not just because I've grown up on it, I have the nostalgia about it, I love the film, but because it's actually just a good film all around, you know? So, yeah, you know, if you can't get through the wedding scene at the start of the movie, don't bother with the rest of it. You know, that's a good way to put it. But, yeah. But Gremlins, hoy, that soundtrack, love it. But watch Gremlins 2, much better film. See you next time. Enjoy life, because who gives a shit about holidays anymore? Everything's death. I love it. It's wonderful. What a generation to be alive in. Hooray, Gremlins.